What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Martin, and today I'm taking a look at the all-new Audi RSQ8 Performance. Now you might think Max has already done that, right? Yes, he did, but that was back in Spain, where he did a track test with the car and some B-road driving. Today we are in Germany, so guess what we're doing today? Hitting the Autobahn, of course. So if you haven't seen Max's video, go click in the top right corner. He really deep dives into this very extensive facelift of the Audi RSQ8 and the performance bit of it. Today I'm just going to summarize all the important stuff that makes this a performance RSQ8. So it's the sort of final edition of the RSQ8 as we know it. And let me spoil the fun. It is the best performance SUV you can buy, including all the Uruses, Aston Martins, Ferraris, whatever, AMGs, BMW M's. This is the one to have. It is just fantastic. Really didn't actually like the first RSQ8, but this later version RSQ8 Performance is totally different, and it is the best one. So let me walk you through it. We have matte carbon fiber. As you know, I really prefer this over the glossy stuff. Specially made for the performance. Really nice, this single grill. Well, it's not a single grill anymore, but this single piece of matte carbon fiber that goes across the whole front of the car. New headlight design. We have performance RS wheels. 21-inch, and these are forged wheels, so they are 5 kilograms lighter than a normal alloy wheel. So that's 20 kilos of unsprung rotational mass, which just makes a massive difference. Also goes for these ceramic pancakes. They are just massive, and what I like with Audi is that they always combine the top speed with the brakes. So if you have the ceramics, you get a 305 km/h limit. So that's really cool. Again, matte carbon fiber for the mirror caps. Carbon ceramic brakes also on the rear axle. They don't do that with like RS3s, RS4s, but they do it with RS6s and of course the RSQ8. New taillight design. Really beautiful. Again, with this beautiful piece of matte carbon fiber right there. They redesigned the exhaust, so it's a kilogram lighter. Oh yes. But it sounds absolutely heavenly, and that for a 2025 car. They also added 10 horsepower because of the redesign, and that makes it the fastest iteration of this engine, including that limited RS6 GT. So that's a bit weird actually. But what I don't like is that new logo design. What is that? I really prefer the old Audi Sport logos. Let's have a look at the engine. And we now also know it's an RSQ8 by looking at the side profile, because we have a badge on the B pillar. I'm not going to say how cool is that, because I'm not really sure whether it is. And here we have it. As I said, they fine-tuned this engine so it now produces 640 horsepower and not 600 and not 630 like with the R6 GT, which I thought would be like the upper boss version, right? Top dog. Well, this is the top dog. 640 horsepower, 850 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 100, 3.6 seconds, and as I said, we have the ceramic brakes, so we can do 305 km/h. Let's get driving, guys. And on the inside we get Alcantara bits and bobs and some red stitching. We have this dark aluminium trim that's exclusive to the performance model, and if we hit this button we hear this lovely V8 starting up, and that's my first hurrah for this car. The sound it produces, because of that redesigned exhaust, even though we have OPF filters, it is absolutely nuts for a car of this age. Really, it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous sound. It is exactly how you want your performance V8 SUV to sound. Absolutely gorgeous. We're just going to hit RS2 mode and enjoy this car on this beautiful B road, and after that we're going to hit the Autobahn, of course. So first we're going to turn off ESC altogether so that we have launch control when we get a nice bit of straight road. That is a lovely sound. You can just feel what the car is doing, what the gearbox is doing, what the engine is doing through your exhaust pedal. I'm going to call it an exhaust pedal. I actually misspoke, but I feel like it's an exhaust pedal. And you get some speed with it when you operate the exhaust, because 640 horsepower, it is just perfect for this car. Let's put it into manual mode. So they also recalibrated the gearbox, of course, compared to the prior RSQ8, and it is fantastic. Everything about this car, I haven't really seen anything I didn't like. The sound is just gorgeous. The reaction to your throttle input, it is a very aggressive engine in a good way. It can be both like really torquey and comfortable in comfort mode, but when it's in RS mode, it's really quite aggressive on throttle, and I really like that duality about it. Steering, yeah, it's a bit numb, but because of the recalibrated air suspension, the car is super flat. We have a very tricky differential in the rear and loads of corner balancing and other trickery to keep it as flat as possible. And you know, this is a very large SUV, and the way this thing just dives into a corner and keeps flat, the body control is simply breathtaking. This is nice and flat. I'm going to turn on the speedometer cam so you can see how fast this is and whether it will actually do 3.6 to 100. Have a look at this. We're on winter tires, by the way, so it's probably going to spin all four wheels, but that is quite entertaining, right? Oh yes. Ah, that was definitely 3.6, and if it wasn't, I had a blast. I don't care. Oh, just part throttle, it is absolutely, oh, it is so good, this car. I'm not really into performance SUVs because the concept of it is just beyond me. Having a massive car that should be really quick and fun to drive, but with this they actually did a fantastic job. I mean, I've driven nearly every performance SUV there has ever been, but this is my favorite, with quite some distance actually. And as I said, I didn't really like the first RSQ8, but this one is totally different, So let's hit the Autobahn and see what it's like over there. So let's see what this car is like doing what it's made to do, crossing Germany towards the Alps, stuff like that. On the Autobahn, no speed limit right here, and just look at these long legs of this ZF 8-speed combined with that 4-liter V8 bi-turbo. It's incredible what this thing is capable of. So as I said, this is such a capable beast in every way. I mean, if you look at the competition, GLE 63 AMG, known for its thrilling V8 experience, but this has an even more thrilling V8 experience if you ask me. It sounds better. Who would have thought that an Audi sounds better than an AMG? And then when it comes to driving dynamics, because of the very intricate suspension setup, I mean, this is just as capable as like a BMW X5M competition, but it doesn't have any of the drawbacks that that car has, because if you would do this in an X5M, you would be jittering around, and the suspension setup is just way too harsh. That is a very focused car. It has a very focused bias towards driving dynamics and hardcore driving. But this is still as capable, but the versatility, the bandwidth of the suspension setup is much broader, so it's way more comfortable but as dynamic at the same time. And the fact that this comes with carbon ceramics is an extra plus for me, because you can't get those on an X5M. It is very impressive what they have done. But why do Audi do this? They have these magical cars like the RS4 25-year edition and this RSQ8 Performance, the R6 Performance, but they're always at like the end of the life cycle. They should come up with this at the beginning, not at the end, I think. They have absolutely nailed this car. It's, as I already said, my favorite performance SUV. The thing will just eat up everything. The miles, the brakes, in a good way. Just look at that braking action. 120 sign and then stomping on the brakes, and it just decelerates like an animal. It just munches up those brake discs, and oh, yeah, this would be it for me. Family SUV, Autobahn style. This is it, the Audi RSQ8 Performance. Thank you guys for watching. Go subscribe to the channel by clicking right here. Go check out this video. Go check out the POV reviews playlist. Bye guys.